At first glance, what do you think this Roblox channel is about? It seems to be a group of friends making skits and having fun in the games they've made. But in reality, this channel holds the biggest rabbit hole I have ever seen, with secret videos, secret Roblox accounts, and puzzles to solve. This is Recall a Hollow Heart. Created on July 5th of 2023, Recall a Hollow Heart has uploaded entries consistently ever since. Okay, maybe not that consistent, uploading 16 videos on their channel so far. They span from skits, tours, shitposts, introductions, and many more. If you look at the channel's About tab, it reads, "Finding this was not a mistake. Something about it doesn't seem right. Something about this feels different. You know there is something hiding, but you can't seem to recall what." Some letters are underlined, and they spell out, "I know." As you can tell, this ARG has a ton of content, and this is just the surface level. I will try to cover everything that this ARG has to offer. Let's watch the first video, Roblox Waffles. This is the channel's first video and first machinima. Nothing interesting happens in this video. It's just a Roblox remake of the classic skit on YouTube by Julian Smith. In the future, we will see more machinimas based on Julian's skits. The video's intro says Dragon Dudes 3, which is the player running the channel. In the video, we see two other people. They are named Purple Sub 1 and 64 Gamer. And fun fact, these are all real accounts on Roblox. This video perfectly encapsulates the type of Roblox videos that were being uploaded at the time. Let's watch the next video.
You guys are being selfish.
Just like in the last video, nothing interesting happens here. It's just a Roblox music video of the Beatles song Eleanor Rigby off of the album Revolver. I have this on record. I bet you don't have this final record. This is why I don't have a girlfriend. Anyway, this video introduces three new people. Their names are Sarah Unicorn Girl 2002, XX Cool Girl 647XX, and 10th Doctor 1997. Not sure if they're important, but we'll see. I mean, hey, the Beatles mentioned in a Roblox ARG. I'm sold, man. I'm sold. The only thing I'm wondering though is, Eleanor Rigby is a very interesting choice to make a Roblox music video for. As Dragon Dudes 3 mentions in the description, this song is sort of a sad one, but I'll get back to the fun stuff soon. I don't know. If I made a Roblox music video for a Beatles song, it'd probably be Twist and Shout or something. Like something fun, you know? I'm probably looking too deep into this, but it's just weird. Let's just move on to the next video. The first two videos were short. The Waffles video was 1 minute, the Eleanor Rigby video was 2.5 minutes, and this one is 10 minutes! What the hell are you doing for 10 minutes? They're just touring their game. Great. Just great. I'll give a summary on what's going on in this video. The description of the video reads, "Found an old video from 2 months ago of our good friend Ace and wanted to show where we all hang out. By the way, Ace, if you're reading this, we miss you. Hope the vacation is fun." We are yet to meet this Ace person. This whole video, as I explained before, is a whole tour of the game that Purple Sub 01 built. And oh, there's Ace! The game has 3 houses, one for Dragon Dude, one for 64 Gamer, and one for Purple Sub. There isn't a house for Ace yet, but he does have a store. Now that's awesome. They all do mini intros for themselves, which gives us more backstory on what their interests are. For example, Dragon Dude is into Transformers and Sonic, 64 Gamer likes car games, Ace likes Sonic and Waffles, and Purple Sub likes building stuff on Roblox. There are also many things around the map. For example, obviously the houses, there are campsites, a bowl of cereal, and Jeremy. You know, Jeremy. And that's pretty much all for this video. And Dragon Dude has an outro now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm done with this episode. But wait, there's something I didn't mention. In the video's description, there's a YouTube URL that takes you to a secret unlisted video that's very creepy. Let's watch this unlisted video. If you put the URL from the last video at the end of a YouTube link, it will take you to this unlisted video, Prelude. The video opens with this quote, "Respite, respite in nepenthe from thy memories of Leonor. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind of nepenthe, and forget his lost Leonor. Quoth the raven, nevermore." This is a quote from Allan Poe's The Raven, a narrative poem published in 1845. One of the most famous poems of all time, it delves deep into themes of despair and madness. For this video, I read this whole poem to understand how it could relate to this story, but I think more content is needed to get a good answer. The description of the video reads, "The name lies within, the code lies within the authors. Follow the monochrome path of redirection, find time where the name is spoken, and then forget your username. We can send you an email to remind you of your username." Following that, 13 dash lines are shown. It then shows a title card saying Prelude by 033. I'm guessing it's 33 seconds, but I'm not sure. The video goes on to show some locations from the Eleanor Rigby video. Here's the window, here's the concert, and here is the crowd of people. There are also lyrics from the song that show up in between these images. The last part of the video shows a mask on a table with a YouTube video ID flashing on the screen. I noticed that the flashing text is Morse code. When translated, it says, "Find me." The video ID sends you back to the Eleanor Rigby music video, with the information that we have being 33 seconds, the "Find me" Morse code, and the line, "Find me where the name is spoken." It wants us to find something in this video. Going to the 33-second mark, the lyric is said, "Wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door." The thing that it wants us to find is a jar by the door. Let me explain. The final thing that was written in the video's description reads, "Forgot your username? We can send you an email to remind you of your usernames," and then 13 dashes at the end. With this line, it references that a username is what we're looking for, and then when you combine a jar by the door into one word, it aligns perfectly with the 13 dashes from earlier. That's the username we're looking for. Searching up the user on Roblox, the user is wearing the same mask from the Prelude video. The user has two friends. Their names are Flies of the Lord and Zero Katanas for You. This user also has a game titled Rendezvous with Memory, and the description reading, "Suggestibility nevermore," another reference to the Raven. Let's move on and explore this game. Okay, so this is Rendezvous with Memory by AJARBYTHEDOOR. This game is related to this whole web series, and we're going to play it, and I'm going to show you all the things that this game has to offer. Alright, so pretty much, if you go to the house over here, I want to go ahead and explore this first, because there's a lot of stuff in here that I want to go ahead and point out. So when you enter the house, you have this thing, the mask that we saw in the Prelude video. I'm guessing it was right here because, you know, it looks exactly the same. There's a computer here that we saw in Dragon Dude's house, and I think the other two. The Raven knows of its infliction. I think this is a code from the Raven. We have a record player from here. I'm not really too sure the origin of this audio, but it sounds nice. So on the computer, you can put in a code 3014, and then it'll pop up something at the top. How people found this is that they got a lot of the numbers from the usernames in the web series, and then they combined them, and then they got 3014. 3014. Hit the green, enabled prelude.rbxm, and then that brings up two of the teleporters that we're able to go to. We're going to cover those later, but I want to show you one thing before we do those. There's this big tall structure right here. I'm guessing we'll see this later in the ARG, but honestly I'm not too sure. So there's 4 teleporters across this map, and they all include places that were in the previous videos, and I'm going to show them all right now. The first one is right here. If you go inside this like stable thing, you get teleported to Jeremy from before. So the actual teleporter is right here. I think it's somewhere. Yeah, here. So it's the store from the 3rd video. And this guy is saying lines from the Raven. The 3rd teleporter is right at the bottom of this scarecrow. So if you touch this, you get taken to the concert, which is in the Eleanor Rigby music video. The last teleporter is right here. All you have to do is just walk up on the wall, and you get teleported to this area, which is also in the Eleanor Rigby music video. These can also be found in the Prelude video that we just mentioned. Here's the window from before. Yeah, it's just a bunch of filming locations, which is actually pretty cool. I do want to mention though, at this table in this house, meetings happen. I will get into more detail on what those meetings are, but for now, let's just move on. Also, before we're done, there might be a lot more things to this game, and if you find anything, please let me know because it will be a lot of help. Thank you, and let's get back to the channel. This is one of 4 introduction videos. All they do is introduce the 4 characters that are in the web series. This one is for PurpleSub01. The video begins with a SpongeBob skit. Pretty cool. It then shows Dragon Dude, 64 Gamer, and PurpleSub playing a building game. Dragon Dude is touring his mushroom house, which looks like shit, a work of art. The last section of the video is a proper introduction to PurpleSub. For each of these introductions, I will give a quick rundown on each of the characters' interests. PurpleSub is into building things on Roblox. She's into popular internet video games like Call of Duty, Homestuck, Left 4 Dead, and Bioshock. As you can tell, she has really good taste. Damn, PurpleSub might be my favorite character. The video opens with another skit. This one is another remake of Julian Smith, and it's about Kool-Aid. Another great video. I love these skits in this web series. I almost forget that this is an ARG half of the time. Anyway, let's move on to the introduction. Dragon Dude says that 64 Gamer is funny, which is most likely why he plays the comedic relief in the skits. His favorite games are Earthbound, never mind, 64 Gamer is my new favorite, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and Castle Crashers. So his taste in games are pretty much Nintendo. Overall, 64 Gamer is very fun to be around. Like the introductions before this, it begins with a skit. Like always, it is pretty awesome. Dragon Dude enjoys making music and videos. His favorite games include TF2, Half-Life, Portal, and Halo. These are amazing choices of games, and that's where the video ends. Let's move on. This video starts off very differently. It shows Dragon Dude joining a natural disaster survival game. I'm guessing attempting to join Ace's game, but he says maybe his server is full. Something feels off about this video and I don't understand what it is. I also don't understand the title of the video. Why is it for purple sub? Dragon Dude decides to do the intro here and edit the stuff later. But why keep this part in the video though? After this, the introduction begins for Ace. Ace of Spades likes Waffles and Sonic. The end. Nah, I'm just kidding. He makes a lot of silly faces. The games he likes are Sonic, Super Monkey Ball, and Super Smash Bros. Dragon says that Ace is thinking about making some videos of his own and to support him once he does. After that, it's the end of the video. But that isn't all. The description has yet another YouTube video ID. As Dragon mentioned before, Ace wanted to start recording videos of his own. This recording is from Ace. He's playing Natural Disaster Survival, I'm guessing before Dragon attempted to join him. There's very creepy audio playing in the background which never plays during this game. Most of the video is just Ace playing the game normally, but there are some key events that I'd like to mention. 1. He notices a very eerie structure in the distance that we saw in the game from earlier. 2. Ace attempts to leave the game, but it won't let him. 3. He's ass at this game. Lastly, what happens at the 4-minute mark of the video. This scared the shit out of me. Ace was transported to a dark version of the game, where you can see this structure warping around the tower. According to the Roblox web series Discord, this area is called an eclipse. Surrounding the map are dark trees with white outlining. He attempts to leave the game, but fails, so he decides to reset his character. But he isn't taken back to spawn, he's taken to this void area. He notices the structure from before in front of him and walks toward it. It then plays this weird audio. This seems to be a spectrogram, and it reads, Ace of Spades, position 000. The game then shuts down, and that's the end of the video. The video Me and My Friend's Hangout game mentions that Ace is on vacation. This video was posted in August of 2011. This statement is true. He went on vacation around this time, but then he came back and then disappeared again. Because of this eclipse incident, everyone assumed he was still on vacation. That's what I think, but if you have any other ideas, let me know. Honestly, this is just a shitpost video, nothing more. The only thing to mention in this video are the Roblox users posting on the forums. The first user is Zero Katanas for You, who is on AJARBYTHEDOOR'S friends list. The second, Flies of the Lord, who is also on his friends list. This one is difficult to catch, but at this part of the video, when the screen moves from top to bottom, skipping over a couple of users, one of these users is Ace. I'm gonna ask you a question right now. What do all of these accounts have in common? The answer is they're all a part of this group called Anti-Night. We don't know much about this group, but I think they relate to whatever this eclipse area is. There is also a user named Killer Mastas who is also in the Anti-Night group. You could put it as if they're connected to one big dangerous mystery. This is a very enjoyable video. If I randomly found this on YouTube, I wouldn't think for a second it was a part of something bigger. Let's take all the information we have and move on. This is the third skit on the channel. Once again, it is a remake of a Julian Smith video with the same name. But this video, there is something different. If you open up captions, you can read a conversation between Dragon Dude and Flies of the Lord. The conversation goes like this. They both say hello to each other, and because Dragon saw Ace in a game with Flies earlier, he asks the question, do you know if he's been active lately? Flies responds, I don't know, man. Maybe he's just trying to enjoy his vacation. Dragon's still wondering why Ace wouldn't say anything about this vacation though. Flies suggests that Dragon just records videos like normal, forgetting about where Ace is. Flies then says, as a friend of Ace, it is something he wanted me to recommend to you. What? Dragon replies with a valid question, why didn't he tell me himself? And Flies replies with, yeah, so his device has been really trashed since we last played, so his vacation Wi-Fi is probably much worse. The conversation ends with Dragon wanting Flies to let him know if he ever sees him, and that's it. I don't trust this Flies guy at all. The rest of the video is the skit from before. Nothing out of the ordinary. Let's move on.
Josh, I didn't call you back, man. I'm really busy.
This video is a conversation between Dragon, 64Gamer, and PurpleSub. The topic they are discussing is about Ace. As you can tell, Dragon is trying his hardest to find out what happened to him. As they are talking, the recording glitches a bunch of times in different parts of the video. When you freeze the frame, it shows up with these two images. I don't know, I thought it was worth showing. Dragon talks about his conversation with Flies the Lord and how he is acting super weird during the conversation. 64Gamer asks how long he's been gone for, and Dragon says a couple of weeks. Dragon revealed why he joined the natural disasters survival game. Ace told him to record with him, but then he disappeared shortly before he joined. That's when Ace was taken in the Eclipse area. After this, the video ends. Nothing special with this video, just a chat about the situation they are in. Dragon continues to search further and plays Ace's games to find information on what happened. The first thing we see is an antivirus being loaded. These are used to remove viruses that are inside free models. This is what the antivirus looks like in the game. Weird. They see these astronauts around an American flag and think nothing of it, but their names change when they check on them again. It changed to "Look at the stars." After seeing this, Dragon is weirded out and ends his recording. Throughout the video, there's more captions of another conversation between Dragon and Flies. Dragon asks if there's any more updates on Ace, to which Flies says he's on vacation just like before. Nobody goes on vacation for that long, and that is exactly what Dragon is thinking too. But then PurpleSub asks a question. Why did you ask Dragon to record? Flies doesn't know how to answer this question. He just says, Ace was busy, so I let him know, okay? I think Flies the Lord knows what happened to Ace, but he won't tell anyone. This is the second gameplay video of the ARG. Dragon joins another game by Ace and is met with a snowy park. He walks around for a bit, talks to some snowmen, and speaks to Frosty. That's sick. Everything seems to be normal. But then it does this. Everything goes black. It's another eclipse. At the top, it's repeating, "Look at the stars," just like the last game. He walks around for a bit until he finds a bridge that he crosses. Then he sees him. He sees Ace. Ace makes a face that he's known to do, mentioned in the introduction video. Ace then says, "It's cold," and then some random stuff I don't understand. Dragon attempts to leave the game but is unable to. You can see Ace or someone walking towards him and the video ends. So it's true. Ace is stuck in this void area and is unable to get out. Let's move to the next video. The whole point of this episode is to show Dragon's reaction to what just happened, and for Dragon to tell the others what he saw. But let's address the elephant in the room. The eclipse happened to Dragon, but how'd he get out of it? The differences that I saw between the two eclipses is that in Ace's case, he reset his character and ended up in the void, which Dragon did not. It could also be that Ace is in the anti-night group, which Dragon is not. But overall, how Dragon left the eclipse area is up for interpretation for now. Dragon mentions to his friends that he saw Ace there. They both stop what they're doing and listen to what he's saying. The confusing part to them is that when Dragon saw Ace in the eclipse area, it wasn't showing him online on Roblox, which is super weird. The video ends with Dragon sending the footage from the last video to 64Gamer and PurpleSub, and that's it for the video. Not much going on here. Let's move on. There only seems to be a few small things to this video. It just seems to be another skit video. For the Desmond the Moon Bear scene, for exactly one frame, a dark filter is put on the whole screen and you can see the structure on the left. That's creepy. This filter was also on when Ace said "It's cold" in the eclipse area. Another thing to mention is the outro of the video. It says the last video was the Malk skit. So the past 4 videos were just never uploaded to the channel, I guess. Just recordings on Dragon's computer. One last thing though. In the background of this shot behind PurpleSub, you can see the faceless version of Ace walk up the roof to watch them. I never even realized that. That's terrifying. How do I know that this is faceless Ace? Well, compare the two images. Look at the first image from the second eclipse with Dragon, and then look at this one. They're the same. I do have an idea on what's going on, but I want to get more information before I say it. So yeah, it is a very funny video and awesome to watch. All the skits are very well made and nostalgic. This video is another conversation. Again, great! This time it's between Dragon Dude, Flies of the Lord, and for the first time, Zero Katanas for You, who we saw mentioned in the Roblox Thread Simulator. Flies of the Lord and Zero Katanas for You are both a part of the anti-night group. Dragon asks who Katana is and why he's here. Flies says that Katana is an archivist. After this, Flies also says, you should be doing the same. I think he's saying that he should record more like before. I still have no idea why though. Dragon tells him what happened in Ace's game, with the whole eclipse incident, saying that he had to unplug his PC just to get out of it. At the minute and 27 seconds mark, if you look in the background, a person appears between the two houses. I'm not sure who it is, but it could be Ace. But I think it's Ace because of how in the Roblox Go Crazy video, he's stalking them in that video too. He also mentions that he saw Ace there and he doesn't know why. Flies then replies with the following. There's no good way to put this honestly, but there is more to what happened with Ace and more that you've experienced. Dragon doesn't understand what Flies is saying. I find it funny how Katana is saying nothing during this whole conversation. He just stares at Dragon the whole time. Flies then says, might sound strange, but you're being watched. As he says that, the video glitches for a frame. Flies then says, you were probably being watched before we even spoke. We then find out why Flies told him to record. It's because he wanted to know if Dragon was involved. And he is involved. Involved in what, you ask? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe with the anti-night group, or he's gonna have the same fate as Ace, but that's all I can think of. Flies says to keep in touch with the two of them in case anything weird happens. Dragon still doesn't understand what's going on. Flies then says that they are being watched, so was Ace. Flies says, now you found yourself in a spot, and I'm trying to help. Dragon still doesn't understand how he's being watched. Flies also doesn't understand. For the first time in 5 minutes, Katana speaks up saying, guys, look, indicating to look over there. Something weird is that when Dragon walks up to look at the structure, Flies disappears. You can hear him walking and then he leaves the game. Flies knows what's about to happen. Then the video ends. That was a lot of content. But guess what? There's another conversation in the captions. This one is between Dragon and 64 Gamer. Dragon asks if he can log the conversation, and 64 Gamer wonders why. Dragon says it's because Flies recommended it to him. 64 begins to talk with Ace, and how he thinks he saw Ace in his game. Dragon wonders how. 64 says that he was trying to play a game and then he saw him in the distance, sort of like we saw before. Dragon tells 64 to stay out of that game if you see him, and 64 asks why. Dragon then says he might be hacked, and that's where the conversation ends. Damn, that is a lot of content. This video shows things are going to take a dark turn. The intro begins with a glitch and it's super weird. Things are gonna go very wrong. Dragon locks in for this video. The whole premise of this entry is Dragon investigating what's going on in the games he plays. He notices the structures in the sky. When he zooms in, it flashes a picture of Ace for a frame. He decides to see if the structure is in his games, and it is. I think this is what he's being watched by. This structure follows him in every single game he plays. He also asked Purple Sub if there's any viruses in the game, but she said no. Also, opening Roblox Studio, the structure cannot be found in the game. Dragon then makes a smart move and takes a UFO over to the structure. When he gets to it, it is exactly what we saw in AJARBYTHEDOOR'S game. He then decides to delete the structure, then this happens. Images of Ace are flashed on the screen for 2 frames, and the game shuts down. Dragon realizes that the structure can be found in other recordings. Most notably, in Ace's Spades place number 13, you can see it in the background when he's talking to the snowman. This suggests that it's been here for a while, just like Flies of the Lord said. This video ends with Dragon asking people to check their models for viruses, and that's the end of the video. And for the time being, the end of Recall a Hollow Heart. I mentioned before that in AJARBYTHEDOOR'S game, there are things called meetings. There's a 4-video playlist of long footage from the game. These are the meetings that I was talking about. These are meetings that AJARBYTHEDOOR, Flies of the Lord, and Zero Katanas for You will attend. Kind of something you'd see in Flamingo's old myth videos. The owner of the Roblox web series container has uploaded explanations for each of the meetings. I won't be explaining the videos 100% because I highly recommend checking this video out. The link is in the description. Let's discuss the first meeting. The first meeting only includes one in-universe character, which is AJARBYTHEDOOR. The whole meeting is like a Q&A session, asking about the characters and what they mean. I will read one or two important quotes and summarize what was revealed in each meeting. Someone asks what happened to the friend group. AJARBYTHEDOOR replies with the influence. What the hell is the influence? And what was once prevalent is gone. There is no screenshot of this message. People ask what the influence is, and AJARBYTHEDOOR gives us the answer. What looks back through the screen, night skies is the most noble property of the influence. In this meeting, AJARBYTHEDOOR refers to himself as the shepherd. The influence seems to be what took Ace. This could be true because how the eclipse area was dark with a night sky, and AJARBYTHEDOOR described the influence as night skies is the most noble property of the influence. That's all I got for this meeting. If you find anything else, let me know in the comments. 85 days later, another meeting takes place. AJARBYTHEDOOR opens with this paragraph. How quiet is gotten. Crops have gone undisturbed as I ensured. The silence has left me in a bind. However, there are those you can all contact to see if I restore their lost accounts. However, if I do too much at once, they might notice. I ask you for advice on the matter to decide my action on the platform we live in now. He's giving us a choice. Either one, we can restore their lost accounts and try to contact them, or two, he continues to hide as he's been doing. I think I'm a little late to this meeting, but I think he should do option 1. The things that we got out of this meeting are the following. 1. AJARBYTHEDOOR says he could restore the accounts that were thought to not exist. 2. AJARBYTHEDOOR asked the people attending the meeting what he should do next. 3. You shouldn't be saying the name because something is listening. And lastly, AJARBYTHEDOOR reveals that he is the one running the RecallAHollowFuture channel. Let's watch the next meeting. Exactly 1 month later, another meeting happens. Is this date important or something? The in-game universe characters that attend this meeting are AJARBYTHEDOOR and Flies of the Lord. This meeting seems to be a conversation between the two, so let's just summarize the meeting. Flies doesn't know anything about Ajar's motives. He also doesn't know that Ajar wants to involve us, the audience. According to the video on the meetings, it says Ajar wants to use the information from Dragon Dude and Anti-Knight for unknown means, most likely to fight against the influence. Anti-Knight is also confirmed in this meeting to be still active off Roblox. Lastly, AJARBYTHEDOOR confirms that the influence is the one who's listening. A couple of months later, another meeting takes place, this time with all the in-universe characters on AJARBYTHEDOOR's friends list. This meeting is another conversation between them all. Let's do a quick summary. AJARBYTHEDOOR brings up that he has free will. I don't know why he had to mention that. He also mentions that he's trapped in some way, but it could be a better way of saying he's watched. Last and most importantly, they bring up that Ace is most definitely dead. I don't know how, but he's dead, I guess. And that's the last meeting we've gotten so far. I highly recommend checking the actual videos of these meetings and the video covering them in their entirety. I left a good amount of info here, so please consider checking those out. I think I figured out what's going on with Ace. After being taken by the eclipse area or the influence, he died, but the influence is using his body as a host of some sort to stalk the friend group. We know this is happening because of the Roblox Go Crazy video. I know I said before that it's the structure stalking them, but maybe it's both. And for clarification, that faceless Ace is not actually Ace. Here is before, here is after. But who knows, this theory is not 100%. This is my favorite ARG I have ever seen. I just love everything about it. The public and the unlisted videos are amazing. The myth hunting and the meetings aspect is incredible. Puzzles are super fun to solve, and the interaction between the in-universe characters and the viewers is brilliant. Everything about this is just amazing. This ARG is far from over. The channel has a playlist titled 1, so I'm guessing this is section 1 of the ARG. There are still many mysteries to solve, but right now I find it difficult to create a full story on what's going on because of it being nowhere near completion. There will 100% be more meetings in the future, and they will reveal vital information to the story. Be sure to always pay attention to this game. From my eyes, the last video revealed that Dragon is starting to see the structure too in the games he plays. My guess, it will only go downhill from here. But for now, the best thing we can do is sit back and wait for what's to come. Thanks for watching.